Well, in Baton Rouge yesterday, Louisiana House Republicans elected their nominees for their party and leadership for the new legislative term. One of those is a familiar face for Central Louisiana. That's State Representative Mike Johnson of Pineville. He's been elected by the House GOP as their Speaker Pro Tem nominee. Speaker Pro Tem is second in command in the House and serves as a liaison between the chamber and the House Speaker. In a statement to News Channel 5, Johnson said it was a unanimous vote of support, adding in part, quote, "In this role, I will serve our entire state and be in a unique position to highlight and emphasize the needs and interests of District 27 and the Central Louisiana region." The formal vote for all leadership positions within the chamber will not happen until January 8th, when the legislature convenes for an organizational session that happens right before inauguration.